Welcome back to the channel, good friends. We have all of the parts that we need to get the Range Rover back together, the 2010 HSE, having a little bit of overheating problems. It had some cracked crossover pipes. We did get the crossover pipes and the sensor in. We also got the gasket kit, so we can get this thing back together and go from there. You can see the difference here. The crossover pipe is split and also broken off. No seals whatsoever left on it. It's also the rear crossover has a broken tab where a hose connects, and it's also split and leaking as well. So there's no way any water could stay in the system and build up pressure. We now have the parts in. Let's get her back together. All right, we're going to work on all of the intake gaskets, the front one and then 8 bottom ones. Before we can put that whole unit back in there, we do have to get the rear crossover in there first. There's no way to unbolt it and bolt it in without having the intake completely off. And then also the air ducts for the fresh air system and the air conditioning has to be removed as well. That was already done. This is the plastic rear crossover pipe for the coolant system. Goes right back here under this wire harness, 2 bolts on either side. I mean, it's not hard work, it's just hard to get to it. I have to place 3 foam mats down so I can lay on top of the engine compartment and not have any hoses or anything bust or anything go through me while I'm laying on there. So we have everything laid out. Let's grab the part, our tools, the bolts, and get it in there. Right in front of my arms, right in front of my face there's 2 holes. Those are air ducts. The fresh air comes in through there with the circulation. No way I would have been able to get to these bolts without removing that. I have my tray of bolts. Let's get the front crossover. And this goes down into the top of the block and feeds both the top of the radiator and the water pump. Not sure where this would have went on other models, but there's a cap on the top of this crossover. We just pop it off the old one, snap it on to the new one, and there's one more bolt up top, and that's done. Now we can sneak the intake manifold in here. It just has to go, the back of it goes under the wire harness, which is why it goes in on an angle, and then it drops right down on the holes, right down where the gaskets should be. So all I have to do is swap my position, lift up the wire harness, and it'll fall right in. Then we can bolt that down, 10 bolts, 5 on each side, and tighten those to spec, and move on connecting all of the hoses and wires. Fuel rails as well. All right, we just have 4 bolts and a few hoses and harnesses to hook up for the front air intake here. Well, now I can put the air intake for the cabin and its filter up on top, and that gets attached to the firewall. Just 2 nuts hold that on, and then we'll get the rest of the intake hoses and clamps and everything installed and tightened up. For now, I'm not going to put the top cover or trim pieces back on. All they do is hold the temperature, keep the temperature up in the engine compartment anyway. I know the shop manager is glad this project is almost finished. There it sits over there. That's insulated. Yeah, I'm going to keep that off, run just a little bit cooler. Now, all we have to do is fill with antifreeze and some water. It's a 50-50 mix. All right, obviously I'm getting more on the shop floor than I am getting in the reservoir, but I want to get it up to the line, and then I'll start the Rover up and start working its way through the system. Its circulatory system is a real pain to get going, and there can be air pockets that can cause overheating, so it's going to take a little time. It's not just, you don't want to just start this up and start flying down the road and flooring it. You want to work this through and do it right. So we're going to fire it up, and obviously with those air pockets, we're still going to get the warning sign for the water coolant, the low coolant. So we're just going to have to deal with that until everything sort of works its way through, and the sensors will eventually pick that up. So we're going to pull it outside, let it run in case there's any leaks, and check for leaks. The only thing leaking is where I spilled half a gallon down the side of the reservoir. So everything else is holding tight. Let's get her outside. All right, I pulled it outside in case there was any leaks. I have it running, and I'm gonna have to do a bleed. I'm gonna have to burp this thing. Air pockets can form just about anywhere within the coolant system. I have to work those out and work all the air pockets out. That could take some time. So let me get that done. And I'll keep you filled in, but it's running fine, it's running great. Once the air pockets are out and the antifreeze is working through and all the sensors pick that up, all those lights should go out, and then all we have to hope for is no bubbling in the expansion tank. and no head gasket, but you never know. Prepared for it if it is, but we have no coolant in the oil, we have none coming out the exhaust pipe, and that would be the only thing. Other than that, it runs pretty damn good. And that's a good sign there. There's nothing pouring out. I just have to let it run and work the air out of the system and bleed it. All right, guys, that's going to do it for this video. I'm going to keep going. We have cars coming in, cars leaving, cars going out. I'm going to keep working on it, bleeding the system anyway, and that takes just running it, having patience, bleeding it, burping it, running it some more, and working all those pockets out. I'm going to keep you posted as to what happens with that, if it straightens out, or what we're going to do with it. Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. I'll catch you in the next video.